All right, welcome back to Office 365 training. Today we're going to talk about shared mailboxes. That's the next thing on our list, and we're definitely going to have more because I got to go through this list. But today we're going to talk about shared mailboxes. Let's check it out. Before we begin, please take a moment to say hi, hello, or present. It's sort of like a roll call in the class. That way I know you're present and you're interested in this type of content in the comments below. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the video. Okay. So if we go to Exchange Admin Center, we can create a mailbox. So under recipients, we're going to create a mailbox, a shared mailbox. You can see in here, these are all people that are in here already added. They already have email, but you can see here under recipient type, it says user mailbox. So this is our personal user mailboxes that are in here. So in order to create a shared mailbox, we're going to click add shared mailbox right here. Display name, we're going to call it financial DPT mailbox, and we're just going to call it financial we're just going to call it finance. How's that? To make it simple, we're going to select the domain. You can have multiple domains on the server. We're going to leave the alias, same thing as financial DPT. And we're going to click create. So in order for all of these people to gain access to this shared mailbox, we have to add them in there and delegate access to them. And I'll show you what that means. It's really simple. All right, it says shared mailbox created successfully. It may take a few minutes before you can add members, which is okay. So the next step here, it gives you right away add users to the mailbox, and some other things here that we don't have to worry about. But the main thing here that we can really do is add users to the mailbox, and we can just click view details here, and it's the same thing as just clicking on our mailbox that we just created. Also notice, and now it says shared mailbox because that's what we really wanted. Okay, we're going to click on it, and now we're going to manage mailbox delegations. This is why I wanted to add it through here instead of after we created a mailbox, because if you start working somewhere, chances are there's a mailbox already created and you wouldn't necessarily get that screen that I just showed you. So, but if you want to add somebody, which is what you would see as somebody who just started working for a company, this is what you would see. You click on it and then it's slightly different, although you get to the same place, but it's slightly different way of adding people to have access to this mailbox. Okay, so we're going to give them access, and we're going to click on mailbox permissions, and we're going to select manage mailbox delegations. And here are different rules, or I should say permissions, right? First one, it says read and manage, and you can see there are 0 people, right? And then we have send as. So in order to have the permission to send as the mailbox, as from this mailbox, if you want the permission to send from as this, so if you send an email, you want it to show up coming from here, we need to change that setting. So if we go back, that's what this is about here, send as. Very important if you're going to allow them to reply in those emails. You don't necessarily have to send as, depend on how the business set up, but if you want that ability, you have to add people in there. So first thing first, read and manage. So in order to see the emails, we have to add these people in. Very simple. So we're just going to click add permissions. We're going to add Bob. He's in there. We're going to add Mike. And we're going to add Sally as well, because she's got to, manage and basically observe what's going on in this mailbox. Remember, we made her a manager. So she's going to want to have access to this and want to observe what's going on with that mailbox to make sure that customers are taken care of, or any users that want to talk of finance, meaning other people that work in the company. Okay, so they're in there now. If we click cancel here, it's going to update here, loading, and there it is. 3 people added in there to read and manage. Manage meaning, delete, forward, or whatever, And then we got send as. So we're going to allow all 3 people to send as as the mailbox. Remember, we talked about that. And then add permission, same deal, Bob, Mike, and Sally. We're going to have to click save. It's going to take, as we saw previously, it may take a little bit to update because that's just how it is. It has to replicate over the server, over the cloud, whatever you want to call it. Guys, if you're having fun so far and it's easy for you to follow, please click that like button. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Okay, so, okay, we got them in there. They should be able to read and manage and then send as. That's added. These are permissions. These are called permissions. It's very similar in Active Directory when it comes to certain things. But again, that's a different topic. We're going to concentrate on emails and mailboxes in this session. Okay, now they're in there. So now what? How did they access this? What's going on? Okay, so we're going to take the email address from here, and then we're going to send an email to it from my email box, which is from Irvin. Remember, he's not part of this, none of that stuff, but he's going to send it to them. So you can send, in this case, just for the purpose of role playing, I'm going to send it to the finance DPT here. I'm going to make it a subject as budget question. So I'm going to pretend like I'm somebody who's within the company asking about budget, and I'm asking finance department, which, remember, we got Bob, Mike, and Sally in that. So whoever is in that shared part of that shared mailbox should receive this. Do we have a budget to buy new TVs? For budget new TVs, let's just do that. Thanks, Irving. So we're going to send it there. I'm going to go to Sally's mailbox. We're going to go to Sally's mailbox. We're going to go Sally's mailbox. And did she receive it? No. Well, why is that? That's because that shared mailbox is separate from our main inbox. Or main inbox. So it's separate. There are two different inboxes, right? There are two different. She's got one, her personal one, and then there's a shared one which she hasn't added yet into her Outlook. So the way you add this is you go to folders here, you right click it, and then you select add shared folder. Now, I know this is confusing here because it says folder, but that's because technically speaking, inbox or any of these things in here are folders. It's just that naming scheme is, in my opinion, a little bit bad here. They should have said like mailbox, shared mailbox. That's what I would name it here. That's because this is how you add it, and this is what we're doing. And frankly, it's a little bit confused that it says folder, but it's not. We're adding a mailbox. So we're going to add the mailbox. Now we need to put it in there. And we're going to just copy the name, or I should say the email address for it. We're just going to do that. And we're going to click add. And now you can see it just kind of popped in here as kind of a folder. But if we expand it, you can see that this folder is kind of like an inbox, right? And here it is. And if we select on inbox, we can see that my email has come through. And it came for everybody who is part of this finance DPT. And then you can reply to it. You can say reply, and then it's replying to me, right? It's replying to Irvin. But how do we make it so that it doesn't say that it's coming from Sally necessarily? I mean, Sally can reply, and that's fine. You know, if I know Sally personally, this and that. But what if I'm a customer? And I don't necessarily know Sally, but you know, you're sending a reply from that mailbox, so it looks like it's coming from that mailbox, not just from Sally. And then the way you do that is simply click on these three dots and select show from. And now you see by default it says from Sally Mo. She's a manager, and that's fine. But if we click from, we can now select to send from the shared mailbox. And then, you know, she's going to say, see, hello Irvin. I will look into it. Thanks, Sally. Right? So now when I send it and go back to my mail inbox, it should come here any second. It's going to be a reply coming from Financial DPT mailbox because Sally can do that. She can send it directly from the mailbox, so that way, you know, it just makes sense, right? This is just how it's set up. And then if I reply, I can just say thank you, appreciate that, send back, and now, you know, in a second here, it's going to show up as another email from Irvin replying right back. All right, come on, refresh. Finance. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. There it is. Thank you, I appreciate that. So that's the point of these shared mailboxes, so that multiple people can work from it, sort of like a ticketing system, and reply on behalf or send as that mailbox.